All right, let's get right into it. We are swimming in a sea of images every single day. But with AI and Photoshop getting better and better, there's this huge question hanging over everything we see. Is any of it even real? Today, we're going to become image detectives.
Okay, look at this. You've definitely seen this before. It's that classic, heroic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. It's in history books, it's everywhere. Well, get this. It's a total fake. That's Lincoln's head, all right, but that is not his body.
And you know, this kind of thing, it's not new. Faking photos is basically as old as photography itself. I mean, back in 1860, some photographer just cut and pasted Lincoln's head onto the body of John C. Calhoun, a staunch defender of slavery. You can't make up that irony. Then you jump to the 1930s, and you have Stalin literally airbrushing his rivals right out of history. The difference today? It's the speed and the scale. Generative AI can spit out a fake reality in the time it takes to blink.
And that gets to the heart of the problem. See, back in the day, a photograph was a physical thing, a negative, a print. It felt real. It felt like an objective witness. But when we moved from analog film to digital pixels, a deep fragility was introduced into our visual record. That trust we used to have, it's been completely destabilized. We just can't take visual proof at face value anymore. So, let's pull this out of the history books and look at what's happening right now. Because this isn't just about old photos anymore. This is about what's flooding our screens every single day. This AI flood is being used as a weapon in some really scary ways. We're talking about fake news images designed to disrupt elections, convincing fake profiles on social media made to scam people, even fraudulent insurance claims using fake photos of accidents. People are even trying to use fake IDs to get past security checks. This is the new reality.
Okay, so that sounds pretty bleak, I know. But here's the good news. We are not helpless. We can actually learn to spot the signs, to see the little glitches in the matrix that give these fakes away. So let's dissect the anatomy of a forgery. Now, on a really technical level, the pros use methods like something called error level analysis, or ELA. It's a really cool technique. Basically, every time you save a JPEG, it loses a little bit of quality. ELA can spot parts of an image that have been edited and resaved because their compression levels are just off. The altered parts can light up like a sore thumb.
But for the rest of us who aren't forensic analysts, we can build our own little detection toolkit. First, always check the hands. AI is notoriously bad at them. Look for six fingers or weird, bendy joints. Then, look at the lighting. Do the shadows make sense, or does it look like everyone is lit from a different direction? Check textures, too. Skin that's way too smooth is a big giveaway. And finally, zoom in on the eyes. AI often creates these dead eyes that just don't have the spark of life or realistic reflections in them.
So, those tips are useful for sure, but they lead us to a pretty chilling question. The AI is learning. It's getting better at hands. It's figuring out lighting. So what happens when the fakes get so good that our own eyes just can't tell the difference anymore? What do we do then?
Well, when the human eye is no longer enough, you have to bring in an expert system. And that brings us to the solution, a brand new, incredibly systematic approach called the De Cesare Protocol.
And listen, this isn't just some app somebody cooked up. This was developed for the iVirtue Consortium by Keith De Cesare, a legend in the world of image archiving. We're talking about over 40 years of forensic experience, honed at places like the legendary Bettman Archive and Corbis. This protocol is the culmination of a life spent protecting the integrity of our visual history.
So at its core, the protocol is this incredibly thorough 10-point check, and it goes so far beyond just looking for weird fingers. It digs into the hidden metadata of the file, it analyzes compression and noise patterns, it looks for what are called temporal anachronisms, like finding an iPhone in a photo from 1920. It even checks if the reflections in someone's eyes match the scene around them.
Let's just zoom in on one of these factors, because this is where it gets really brilliant. Biological non sequiturs. A non sequitur just means it doesn't follow. What this looks for is the perfect imperfection of real life. AI can make a face, but can it replicate the random pattern of skin pores or the tiny asymmetries that every human face has? It struggles with that natural randomness, and this protocol is designed to sniff that out.
So the protocol runs through this whole exhaustive checklist. But what's the point of all that complex analysis if the result is just as confusing? How do you turn all that data into a simple, final verdict that anyone can actually use?
The answer is a final, dynamically generated report that's part of what's called the Grok score framework. It's designed to be the ultimate authority on whether an image is real or not. It cuts right through all the maybes and what-ifs and gives you a straight answer.
And this right here is the magic. At the very heart of that Grok score report is this one number, the veracity quotient. It's a simple percentage. 100% means it's totally authenticated. 0% means it's a complete fake. There's no ambiguity. It's just a clean, simple score of truth.
And right next to that number, you get a simple, plain English interpretation. So a low score, like 26%, comes with a clear statement, likely AI generated. This makes the tool's power accessible to everyone, from a journalist on a deadline to a lawyer in a courtroom. It provides the clarity we've all been searching for.
And that brings us all the way back to the biggest challenge of our time. As that line between the real and the fake just dissolves, we're going to need a new way to establish ground truth. Powerful systems like the De Cesare Protocol, well, they aren't just about spotting fakes. They're about creating a new foundation for us to agree on what's real. So the question we're left with isn't just, can we still believe what we see? It's, how will we ever agree on what is real again?